Tonight on News 5 Live, no charges yet in a San Pedro arson case, but help is on the way for those displaced by the fire. Why did murder victim Trayson Gibson struggle to find a job before his tragic death? The Ministry of Immigration clarifies there was no sick out at PGIA. Travelers were just caught in a bottleneck. And as we ring in the new year, what resolutions are Belizeans making? These stories and more are coming up in just 60 seconds.
Cooking just got easier with Kent Oils, your go-to choice for every dish. Available in 3 sizes and 3 great options: vegetable, corn, or canola oil. Perfect for frying, baking, sauteing, or grilling. Kent Oils deliver the quality you trust with a clean, natural flavor for all your cooking needs. Conveniently available at stores near you. Exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, December 31st. I am Sabrina Daly. The operator of the bakery where a fire broke out, destroying 2 apartment buildings in San Pedro, deeply regrets helping his co-worker get her job back. The co-worker, a 40-year-old Mexican woman who hasn't been charged yet, has worked on and off with the baker, Fermin Witzel, over the years. Earlier this year, she left the island to live in Cayo, but called him less than 2 weeks ago, asking for her job back and requesting travel and subsistence money. Feeling obliged, he helped her out. Now, as a fire victim himself due to her actions, he laments ever assisting her. Here's News 5's Marian's Ali with more on the story.
She was working with me from August to November. Then she left, and then she asked for help that she want to come back to work again. The 20th of December. She asked for help that she need money for passage and food and pay 2 weeks rent there, and me and my sister put up money together and send the money for her. I never know she was going through a lot of problems.
Fermin Witzel, the owner of the bakery that was destroyed in the fire at Centavos Apartments on Sea Star Drive, shared his regret today. He explained that he had offered a helping hand to his friend and co-worker who said she needed to return to her job at the bakery. Unbeknownst to him, she was going through a tough time, trying to escape an abusive relationship and dealing with issues with another family living above the bakery. In an episode involving the woman, Witzel warned her that he would call the police, and he went upstairs to do so. In that moment, she took out her frustration on the family, the bakery owner, and the other 10 families living in the apartment complex. This tragic turn of events left Witzel and many others as victims of the fire.
Yes, she was throwing things, whatever she met on her way, she just slammed it with her hand. She was getting crazy, starting to throw anything she met on the way, and she was crying. Yes, I said to her, I will call the police because you are not behaving right. You calm yourself.
Witzel recounted that he went upstairs to call a police friend, explaining that his co-worker was causing a disturbance. Unfortunately, the officer wasn't available at the time. Shortly after, Witzel heard the ominous sound of gas hissing from the tanks downstairs at his bakery. When he went to check, an explosion blasted him out onto the street. Witzel explained that his co-worker had lived in his same apartment complex and worked with him a few months ago before moving to Cayo. During her previous stay, she had issues with the family living above the bakery. This tension, combined with her personal struggles, culminated in the tragic events that unfolded.
I know her like 7 years, but 5 years, she asked me for if I need someone for help in the kitchen. I said yes. But she never worked permanently. She just 2 months, 3 months, and then she left. I'm part-time. Yeah, and then she was working with me from August to November. Then she left.
She used to say what? What was the threat?
She used to say that they will pay what they have done with her, interfering in her life.
The woman was detained by San Pedro police but has since been released as investigations continue. The National Fire Service has confirmed that the fire was deliberately set. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gilberto Romero informed the media that they are treating the incident as arson. He also noted that the woman in question did not appear to be mentally unstable.
An apartment building with 12 rooms was completely engulfed in flames. Investigation revealed that one of the tenants was at one of the rooms when he heard the sound of pressure from probably a gas. Thereafter, there was an explosion. The place caught fire. We have one person in custody in regards to this investigation. We're treating it as an arson.
So from what we understand, that there were tanks, and this woman allegedly turned on these tanks.
Yeah, that is the information we have. So she's in custody, and we are doing follow-up work on it.
Are you able to say what her condition is? Because her physical condition, because some on the island are saying that she had recently been the victim of some type of abuse, and she had injuries significant.
Yeah, she's doing okay. She's in custody, and she will be interviewed. She has no injuries or anything.
Okay, is she mental?
Not that we know of, no.
Meanwhile, Fermin Witzel has received some pledges of assistance and is appealing to the public for help to get back on his feet.
When the minister called me this morning, but he said the secretary of him will give me some tickets, but I have not seen no one yet. And Nemo will help, but until Friday will things come in from the city. Last with our 2 tricycles, we used to work on the street. We make the pastries and go in the street and sell. Yeah, and well, at least the tired, I can paint the bike, or I can see what can I do. At least the 3-wheelers.
If you would like to help Fermin Witzel get back to his business, you can reach him at 636-7599. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Tonight, 3 members of the Dominguez family from Biscayne Village are out on bail after being charged with harm. This family feud, which has been simmering for years, erupted on Boxing Day, leading to a cross-complaint incident. A woman police officer from the Special Patrol Unit and her nephew were charged with harming their cousin during a heated dispute. The 2 women involved are daughters of 2 brothers, and their animosity was evident outside the courtroom. They sat as far apart as possible under the court tent, waiting for over 5 hours before being called in at 1:30 p.m. One Shania Dominguez, 25, her cousin Lynette Dominguez, 32, and SPU officer and a 17-year-old minor appeared before Chief Magistrate Jayani Wegorapola. The charges couldn't be read due to discrepancies in the court books. The arraignment was postponed to Friday, January 3, 2025, and their police bail was extended. The feud escalated when Shania claimed her home was invaded by her cousin and others, leading to the Boxing Day incident. Shania, a mother of an autistic 6-year-old, insists she is the victim, not the troublemaker. She alleges that her cousin Lynette and others barged into her house, traumatizing her son and causing damage. Shania denies throwing hot water at the 17-year-old boy, stating that she acted in self-defense. The three family members will return to court on January 3, 2025 to face their charges. The 17-year-old and PC Lynette Dominguez are charged with harming Shania, while Shania is accused of harming the 17-year-old. The family feud continues, with both sides maintaining their innocence. A man who admitted to breaking into the Creole kitchen on Youth for the Future Drive was caught red-handed thanks to surveillance footage that alerted the owner via her cell phone. The burglar, identified as 29-year-old Anthony Marin, was apprehended by police inside the building and charged with burglary. Marin, who used to work for the owner, appeared in court without representation and faced a single charge of burglary. On Christmas Eve, December 24, 2024, Marin allegedly entered the residence of L. Flowers with the intent to steal. Knowing he was caught on camera, Marin pleaded guilty and asked the court for mercy. The chief magistrate considered several factors before deciding on a non-custodial sentence. Marin had no prior convictions for violent or dishonest crimes, only traffic offenses. Despite the seriousness of the offense and the breach of trust, the chief magistrate imposed a fine of $700 plus a $5 court cost, giving Marin until February 14, 2025 to pay. If he fails to pay, he faces 6 months in prison. In his plea for leniency, Marin explained that he is the sole provider for his 2 children and promised to secure a permanent job to pay his fines. Tonight, a chef from Belize City's north side is on remand at the Belize Central Prison, unable to post bail. Erlin Dylan Yakab, a 27-year-old chef from Douglas Jones Street, appeared in court unrepresented and faced a charge of intentionally obstructing a police officer. Initially, Yakab pleaded guilty with an explanation, claiming, "The officer thought it was a plastic bag, but it was my spit I was trying to swallow." Given the disagreement over what happened, the chief magistrate entered a not guilty plea on Yakab's behalf. With no objection from the prosecutor, Yakab was granted bail set at $1,000 with one surety of the same amount. Conditions of his bail include not being arrested or charged with any other offenses and attending all court dates until his case is resolved. Unfortunately, Yakab couldn't post bail and was remanded to the Belize Central Prison. His next court date is February 27, 2025. According to the police, Yakab allegedly swallowed a plastic bag during a search, but Yakab insists he was just swallowing his spit. Tonight, a man who claims to be a beggar and unable to work is behind bars after pleading guilty to possessing a small amount of crack cocaine. The man, 48-year-old Kenroy Emmanuel Fisher from Kelly Street, Belize City, initially told the court he was 29 years old. However, court records show that he is actually 48 and seems to have trouble remembering his own age and birth year. Fisher, who was unrepresented, appeared before Chief Magistrate Jayani Wegorapola and faced a single charge of possession of a controlled drug. On Monday, December 30th, 2024, he was found with a tiny amount of crack cocaine on Castle Street, Belize City. The quantity was so small that it didn't even register on the scale. Despite this, Fisher pleaded guilty. He explained that he has never worked a day in his life and survives by begging. Given his inability to pay a fine, the chief magistrate opted not to impose a non-custodial sentence or a fine. Instead, Fisher was sentenced to 1 month in prison. Coming up, Immigration Ministry clears up bottleneck at PGIA.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. It is amazing how much attention we give to our bodies and how little to our souls. Jesus reminds us that nothing is more valuable than our souls. A well-known speaker would begin his seminar by holding up a $20 bill and asking, who would like to have this $20 bill? Of course, many hands in the audience went up. Then he would crumple the $20 bill up and ask the same question, and of course the response would be the same. Then he would throw it on the ground and grind it into the floor with his shoe and then ask, now who still wants it? Still the hands went into the air. Then he would say, my friends, you have all learned a very valuable lesson. No matter what I did to the money, you still wanted it because it did not decrease in its value. It was still worth $20. Many times in our lives, we're dropped and crumbled and ground into the dirt by the decisions we make and the circumstances that come our way. We feel as though that we are worthless, but no matter what has happened or what will happen, you will never lose your value in God's eyes. Give Christ your life today and discover He can bring beauty out of ashes. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Dr. Bob Roberts and Christian Foundations of Faith.
My fellow Belizeans, the festive transit to the new year is upon us. These are days of celebration, family cheer, and reflection. As we stride to 2025, tradition beckons us to review our performance during the closing year while picturing our prospects for the new year ahead. For sure, even the scoffers would concede the manifold victories that Belizeans can confidently claim at this year's finish line. Our people are working, earning higher incomes, paying less taxes, living in safer communities, benefiting from improved education and health care, and believing for the first time in a generation that opportunity and hope match their ambitions. As Prime Minister, my pledge to Belizeans has been clear from the start of our journey together. Optimism and opportunity will propel all Belizeans to win. And 2024 brought about multiple wins, big and small. Allow me to mention just a few of the big ones. Belizeans are winning when the vast majority who seek employment can find high-paying jobs. National data shows that 98 out of every 100 who seek work can now find well-paying jobs. Belizeans won when government recently raised the brackets of those who pay zero income taxes and removed the GST for property transfers and mortgages. Belizeans are winning when all fees and costs at every public health clinic in the country have now been eliminated. And Belizeans entrepreneurs have won special status with the targeted duty and tax exemptions that automatically apply to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Some wins take more time to secure. For example, inflation. Government heard the complaints about the cost of living, and government has acted forcefully against price gougers and acted decisively to provide relief. Our commitment to lowering the cost of living is why our bakers and public transport operators and farmers have all received some level of subsidy and relief. And in spectacular fashion, Belizeans capped the year with a first ever tax holiday. 4 days, 2 weekends before Christmas, where shopping is done without paying any GST, a 12.5% reduction to prices countrywide. The sum of our efforts is the reason why the latest estimate shows price inflation contained to only 2.1%. 2024 has truly been a year of Belizean triumph. Let me be clear though, these many achievements have not dimmed our administration's desire to work even harder in 2025 to deliver on the virtuous goals of Plan Belize. Yes, poverty has been halved compared to 2018, but any Belizean that's poor is one too many. Yes, thousands of housing and farming plots have been awarded, but this government's push to place valuable titled land in the hands of first-time landowners will not relent. 2025 will witness the construction start of the new state-of-the-art tertiary care hospital in Bamapan that will elevate public health care to new levels of excellence. And the new year will bring the final phase in the realization of a truly national health insurance program so that every Belizean, including residents of the Kaya district, benefit from free public health care. Our push for a greater quality and more accessible education programs will intensify in 2025, as will our already aggressive program of infrastructure improvements, including streets, roads, drains and bridges, particularly in our villages and towns. Altogether, Belize is better positioned than ever before to soar to enriching heights. Our reputation as a world-class tourism destination, the results of which show in the massive visitor growth of recent years, has blossomed now to a destination for investment, for retirement, and for commercial access to Mexico, CARICOM, and Central America. In a world seemingly beleaguered by conflict and chaos, our precious jewel glitters ever brighter as a model of stability, diversity, and sustainability. Beyond the stunning accomplishments and statistics, what most heartens me as we soar to 2025 is to witness the winning spirit of our people. In these brief few years of enabling the private sector, of pushing back against apathy and corruption, of engaging in good faith collaboration with public servants and teachers, we sense and see the transformative impact of our people's remarkable resilience. In this first phase of Plan Belize, we gave birth to an age of self-belief and optimism that seemed impossible 4 years ago. Today, any win is possible. Any dream is achievable. Government in this new year will continue to champion higher individual and institutional standards, conscious that as public servants, we must lead by example. We also know that 2025 brings with it the promise of elections, a time when we must first give an account of our performance over the past 4 years and offer our vision for building on Plan Belize. We remain confident that the best version of Belize lies ahead of us, and with the guidance of our Creator, we will move forward. Vamos! Vamos bien! To every Belizean, I extend the very best wishes for a safe, sparkling strut into 2025. May the Almighty continue to lavish our people and country with His abundant blessings. Happy New Year to all.
We're gonna fail to the future. Boy, them but they're really sick, you know. I want to be very specific with them people.
All right.
Okay.
They are a hopeless bunch of fools.
That Lee rough, Jules. So where you put the UDP in at the next elections?
Facing the inevitability of a possible total wipeout, I tell you.
Man, so if you had Shine and Trace in front of you, what you would have tell them?
To knocking on our head, something wrong with you.
Well, so only God could save them this election, no?
Believe me, if great God comes from the sky right now and tells shine and praise, so make I tell them the way forward, they would not accept it. They would not accept it. They'd say, yeah, but remember when, and how about that time, and I want to tell you, God, you're wrong for that, because, so, you can't help them. They cannot be helped. So, just concede, man. Just concede, it's sad.
Jules the talk sense for once. Wa vote for the UDP, that wa vote for lone ghosts, cause the UDP dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Several suspects have been detained following the tragic shooting in Belize City on Sunday night. The incident on Rivero Street claimed the life of 18-year-old Trayson Gibson. Trayson had been paralyzed from the waist down since a shooting in 2022, and he had been using a wheelchair ever since. Despite his challenges, Trayson never lost his determination. He was on a relentless quest to find a job to support his grandmother, who was his primary caretaker. Unfortunately, his efforts were in vain as many companies were unwilling to hire a wheelchair user. Earlier this year, Belize made a significant stride by passing the historic Disabilities Bill, aimed at ensuring equal opportunities for Belizeans with disabilities. This bill emphasizes the right to employment, giving hope that people like Trayson would have a fair chance to work. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with more details.
At just 15, Trayson Gibson's world was shattered when a shooting left him paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair for life. But Trayson didn't let this break his spirit. According to his grandmother, who cared for him, his incredible willpower helped him adapt to his new reality with remarkable resilience.
Because he does play football, he not a football person, play basketball, all kind of thing. He never went overnight to get like that, and he never did go no therapy or nothing, so he's a strong guy. Because he never did go nothing like we say, he just take it right, so he get back with that.
On Sunday, Trayson Gibson was mortally injured while he was hanging out with friends in his neighborhood. Reports say 2 men on a motorcycle suddenly appeared and opened fire. This time, the bullets were fatal. For his grandmother, the pain of losing Trayson is even more profound because she remembers his unwavering determination. Despite countless job rejections, he never lost hope of finding work to help pay the bills.
Most of the call centers, they said they don't have the wheelchair access, so they can't take her. So he may get shoved back with that. They don't really want to do it because they can't say he can't go up for work. And then they said they take nobody on for home one right now. So he only may get throw back. So he never really did get anything like that for them.
According to his grandmother, Gibson had finally received a call back from a potential employer. However, his hopes were dashed when he mentioned that he was in a wheelchair and the opportunity slipped away.
Never gave up. He always searched. Always somebody call him, but he said the thing, but he looked like he not telling that he crippled. So Princess me call him, but when Princess called him, he telling that he You know, want any type of job because so and so, you understand? And then they understand. But they may call her for go work, but he's like that, and it may be a problem again there because they don't take people where they're like that. But he's not really get advancing at that yet to me.
Earlier this month, Belize made history by passing its first ever disability bill. This landmark legislation aims to prevent discrimination against people with disabilities like Trayson Gibson, protect their rights, and ensure they receive the privileges and benefits guaranteed by the Constitution. As a result, more establishments across Belize will need to make their buildings accessible to everyone, including those who are wheelchair-bound. Minister of Human Development, Dolores Balderramos Garcia, who introduced the bill in the House of Representatives, explained what these changes will entail.
If you make legislation that you are going to not only respect the rights of persons with disabilities but do something about it, then the practical benefits that should come are that there will be recourse, there will be a place and a structure where persons with disabilities will be able to hold all the relevant parties accountable, whether it's government, private sector, schools, health, education, employment. All of these things are important. And basically what we're saying is that we want to ensure that persons with disabilities, let's take wheelchair access as probably the most glaring example, the most obvious example, Many of our buildings are not wheelchair accessible for persons with that kind of mobility difficulty, So basically what the law is saying is that buildings will have to make themselves accessible to people in a wheelchair.
The bill mandates that within a year, both government and private buildings must ensure accessibility where feasible. It also highlights the commitment to uphold the rights of every disabled person, including their right to employment.
We are saying that both private sector and the government, we need to make ourselves and the buildings that we occupy accessible to persons with that kind of disability. Now, there are other disabilities, mental, emotional. You have visually impaired, we have hearing impaired. And so in terms of persons with disabilities access to employment, to education, to health care, government would be a lead agency, but then the private sector and other agencies would kick in making sure that we respect the rights of persons with disabilities and make the adjustments that we feel may be necessary.
With the new bill in place, Belizeans with disabilities now have a powerful piece of legislation to back them up. It clearly outlines the right to employment opportunities and stands firmly against discrimination. This is a significant step forward in ensuring equal treatment and opportunities for everyone. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Travelers at the Philip Golson International Airport faced major delays on Monday due to long lines, all because only one immigration officer was on duty. Chief Executive Officer Tania Santos from the Ministry of Immigration explained that several officers were out, some due to illness or maternity leave. Adding to the chaos, a malfunctioning computer created a bottleneck, sparking rumors of a staff sick out. Earlier today, Santos assured News 5 that the situation has been resolved and that administrative changes have been made to prevent further issues.
Some officers who are sick, and people get sick, so we can't really see that there's a sick out. There are a few officers who are out sick. We have an officer out, for example, on maternity leave as well. So there are a number of officers that are not at the airport at the moment. However, we still do have a complement of officers there who are sufficient to keep the lines going. What actually happened is that it's the Terminal 1 is where there was one officer, and the reality is that there are only two booths there at Terminal 1 for one of the computer systems was not functioning, so effectively it was one officer who was able to work. That they had sent passengers over from Terminal 2 to Terminal 1, I guess not realizing that there was only one officer there. So the others were there on the other terminal, but the flow as well was the number of passengers was a lot, so they were shifting it around. And that is what happened. The line became long because there was only one officer of two at that terminal who was able to process the crowd that was there. There have been changes recently with a new port commander, and every officer in charge brings their own style of management, their own ways of doing things. And so there have been some changes that have been occurring, and we have been trying to manage those changes. It takes time for some people also will take longer to adapt to changes. And so these are some of the issues that need to be ironed out and that we're looking at and addressing. But in that particular case yesterday, it was a matter of one of two booths.
CEO Santos mentioned that the Immigration Department quickly sent an IT technician to the Philip Gosen International Airport to fix the computer issue. She confirmed that the problem has now been resolved.
Yes, we actually sent in IT to fix the situation with the other computer at the Terminal 1, so they should have their complement of two at that terminal. It can be argued that we need more officers in the departure, but that's something that we can also discuss with the authorities there at the airport and adjust as well. So it's going to take a little more discussion and planning and collaboration with everyone to address this issue as we have more and more visitors to the country, and passengers and the traveling public. So we will have to respond accordingly within the space that is available currently. Because if you go to Terminal 1, you might want to you've been to the airport, I'm sure. You will see that really there's not much space for us to include any more immigration officers there for departures. Terminal 2 as well is limited with space. So we can't force what we can't fit.
After the break, in the spirit of celebration, a Belizean musician and his achievements. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Compatriotas beliceños, el tránsito festivo hacia el Año Nuevo está sobre nosotros. Son días de celebración, alegría familiar y reflexión. A medida que nos acercamos al 2025, la tradición nos invita a revisar nuestro desempeño durante el año pasado y imaginar nuestras perspectivas para el año venidero. Sin duda, hasta los burlones reconocerán las múltiples victorias que los beliceños pueden afirmar con confianza en la línea de meta de este año. Nuestra gente trabaja, obtienen mayores ingresos, pagan menos impuestos, viven en comunidades más seguras, se benefician de una educación y una sanidad mejores y creen por primera vez en una generación que las oportunidades y la esperanza están a la altura de sus ambiciones. Como primer ministro, mi promesa a los beliceños ha sido clara desde el principio de nuestro viaje juntos. El optimismo y la oportunidad impulsará a todos los beliceños a ganar. Y el 2024 trajo consigo múltiples victorias, grandes y pequeñas. Permítame mencionar solo algunas de las grandes. Los beliceños ganan cuando la gran mayoría de los que buscan empleo pueden encontrar trabajos bien remunerados. Los datos nacionales muestran que de 98 de cada 100 personas que buscan trabajo puede encontrar ahora empleos bien remunerados. Los beliceños ganaron cuando el gobierno elevó recientemente los tramos de quienes no pagan impuestos sobre la renta y eliminó el impuesto sobre bienes inmuebles para las transmisiones patrimoniales y las hipotecas. Los beliceños ganan cuando ahora se han eliminado todas las tasas y costos en todas las clínicas de salud pública del país. Y los empresarios beliceños han ganado un estatus especial con las exenciones específicas de derechos y impuestos que se aplican automáticamente a las microempresas y las pequeñas y medianas empresas. Algunas victorias tardan más tiempo en conseguirse. Por ejemplo, la inflación. El gobierno escuchó las quejas sobre el costo de la vida y el gobierno ha actuado energéticamente contra los que suben los precios y ha actuado con decisión para aliviar la situación. Nuestro compromiso de reducir el costo de la vida es la razón por la que nuestros panaderos, operadores de transporte público y agricultores han recibido algún tipo de subvención y ayuda. Y de forma espectacular, los beliceños culminaron el año con las primeras vacaciones fiscales de su historia. 4 días, 2 fines de semana antes de Navidad, en los que se puede comprar sin pagar el impuesto de bienes y servicios GST, lo que supone una reducción del 12.5% de los precios en todo el país. La suma de nuestros esfuerzos es la razón por la que la última estimación muestra una inflación de precios contenida en solo el 2.1%. 2024 ha sido realmente un año de triunfo beliceño. Pero permítame ser claro, estos numerosos logros no han atenuado el deseo de nuestra administración de trabajar aún más duro en el 2025 para cumplir los virtuosos objetivos del Plan Belice. Sí, la pobreza se ha reducido a la mitad en comparación con el 2018, pero cualquier beliceño que sea pobre es uno de más. Sí, se han adjudicado miles de viviendas y parcelas agrícolas, pero el impulso de este gobierno para poner tierras valiosas y tituladas en manos de propietarios primerizos no cejará. 2025 será testigo del inicio de la construcción del nuevo hospital de atención terciaria de Belmopan, que elevará la atención sanitaria pública a nuevos niveles de excelencia. Y el nuevo año traerá la fase final de la realización de un verdadero programa nacional de seguro de salud, NHI, para que todos los beliceños, incluidos los residentes del distrito de Cayo, se beneficien de una asistencia sanitaria pública gratuita. En el 2025 intensificaremos nuestro impulso a programas educativos más accesibles y de mayor calidad, al igual que nuestro ya agresivo programa de mejorar de infraestructuras como calles, carreteras, desagües y puentes, sobre todo en nuestros pueblos y ciudades. En conjunto, Belice está mejor posicionado que nunca para alcanzar cotas enriquecedoras. Nuestra reputación como destino turístico de categoría mundial, cuyos resultados se manifiestan en el crecimiento masivo de visitantes de los últimos años, ha florecido hasta convertirse en un destino para la inversión, para la jubilación y para el acceso comercial a México, CARICOM y Centroamérica. En un mundo aparentemente asediado por el conflicto y el caos, nuestra preciosa joya brilla cada vez más como modelo de estabilidad, diversidad y sostenibilidad. Más allá de los asombrosos logros y estadísticas, lo que más me anima ahora que nos adentramos el 2025 es ser testigo del espíritu ganador de nuestro pueblo. En estos breves años de capacitación del sector privado, de lucha contra la apatía y la corrupción, de colaboración de buena fe con los funcionarios públicos y los profesores, percibimos y vemos el impacto transformador de la extraordinaria resistencia de nuestro pueblo. En esta primera fase de Plan Belice, hemos dado a luz a una era de confianza en uno mismo y de optimismo que parecía imposible hace 4 años. Hoy, cualquier victoria es posible, cualquier sueño alcanzable. El gobierno en este nuevo año seguirá defendiendo normas individuales y institucionales más estrictas, consciente de que, como servidores públicos, debemos predicar con el ejemplo. Seguimos confiando en que tenemos ante nosotros la mejor versión de Belice y, con la guía de nuestro Creador, seguiremos adelante. Vamos, vamos bien. A todos los beliceños les deseo el mejor para el 2025. Que el Todopoderoso siga colmando a nuestro pueblo y a nuestro país con sus abundantes bendiciones. ¡Feliz Año Nuevo a todos!
Tell me, what about our honor today?
I recently did a Red Girl video. I get more views than Harriet. And you know one person had the nerve to post that I am not even a Red Girl? I mean, like, what that mean anyway?
Well, here what about me? Every time I go buy meat pie, and I go, so, nothing in there. Nothing.
So this is my issue. I over 18. I don't want no one artist. And you could believe my man still expect me for wash dishes? No got time for that. I don't prefer dishes.
Yes. And you, sir?
Well, I don't really got their kind of problems, you know. Ever since I switched to DJ and signed up for my unlimited postpaid plan, life stress-free. Nothing bother me or my connection no more.
As we get ready to welcome the new year, many of us will reflect on our achievements and setbacks from 2024, while others will be making resolutions for 2025. Some will celebrate by dancing to their favorite DJ spinning classic hits. Amidst all the festivities, we take a moment to look back at the life of a musician who has been entertaining us for decades. Kenny Gladden, also known as Kenny G, is best known for his time with Santino's Messengers Band. But his musical journey began long before that, back when he was living in Corozal. Today, he leads his own band, Kenny G and the New Creation. News 5's Marian Ali brings us more in his story.
If you're over 50, you know this man for his smooth vocals and his remarkable ability to interpret various musical artists' hit songs in a way that you absolutely enjoy. Kenneth Gladden, otherwise known widely as Kenny G, has been in the music industry since his early days in Corozal. His initiation into music came in the strangest of ways. He was not discovered by anyone. He told us that he decided to try his voice at home in private and liked what he heard. And that was his starting point.
When school was out, I used to go do one part-time job with that U.S. Council with a little Maya man, Mr. Oak. Used to go do part-time job with him. And I get to buy a lead tape recorder, right, where you could record your voice. And I used to put on the music and I record, and I used to sing along with the music, right? And I record the voice, then play it back, I listen to it, how he sung, I saw it in a tune. And I said, you know something, that song good, I think I should take it up. And then when people start to hear me, other musicians start to hear me and say, why, we don't want you to come sing with the band, you know.
That was back in Corozal when Gladden's singing career started. Those early performances took him to Chatamal and surrounding areas in the mid-80s. From there, he moved to Belize City, where the Santino's Messengers Baby Band and the Lord Rayburn Combo, at another point, were familiar weekend songs with Kenny G.
That was the late 80s, because that's when we formed Messengers Baby, Santino's Messengers Baby. That was in the late 80s, I would have said about 88, 89.
When you were main vocalist?
Yes, I was the main vocalist.
When you had hair?
When I had hair, black hair.
Gladden says his first inspiration was his father.
I was inspired, firstly, by my father, because my father is a great late Rudolph Gladden. They used to call him Chuck because they say he take up a Chuck Pender. I have never seen my father perform in full until the later days of his life, when he came back to Belize from New York. So, but I was inspired by him because everybody tell me, why, how great your father was, right? Why, your papa bad. Man like Evan X-Hyde used to say, why, your father bad, man. And Bismarck and all these guys, they had known my father, but then they tell me how good he was, right?
And while you may have heard his mellow voice performing to one of your favorite artists' songs, you probably didn't know that Kenny G is the lyricist behind that popular Guana Tale.
A hungry, what you want? A hungry, what you want? The rice and beans, me no want that. The rice and beans, me no want that. The ox there, me no want that. The ox there, me no want that. The couple soup, me no want that. The couple soup, me no want that. What you want? Give me the guana tail, guana tail, guana tail, guana tail, guana tail, guana tail. Give me the guana tail.
You wrote that?
Yes. I make that song when we got Bermuda landing. I say this girl just like the dance front of we, right? And she just fling like she fling one tail, right? I said, this place I know the guana and the tail and everything they whop wrong. And this girl behind just go like guana tail. I say, all right, go then. Right there you start.
But live music entertainment has transitioned since the 80s. Now, live bands face challenges getting jobs because people oftentimes opt for the cheaper priced DJ entertainment. But Gladden, who has his own new creation band, now says he will keep the band going, and he is doing what he can through his own music to keep the Belizean music industry alive. And he has the support of the director of the Institute of Creative Arts, Kim Vasquez.
We really have to look at musicians like Kenny Gladden, who are musicians that back a lot of what we call the living legends or the well-known musicians. And so we tend to not remember them as often as we should. But he does, in fact, have his own band, the New Creation Band. And he does, in fact, do a really good job of promoting Belizean music, of covering the music of other musicians, and keeping Belizean culture alive in his own way.
By keeping our legends alive, it paved the way for youths, in the sense that the youth will say, okay, we never know that Ben McCoy may do that song. Then we hear it, but we don't know that Ben McCoy do that song, or we never know that Lord Rayman do that song. So by keeping these legends in the forefront, pave the way for the youths then to say, well, okay, so we could take one page out of Lord Rayman book, and we could do for we thing just like Lord Rayman.
If you would like Kenny G and the New Creation Band to play at your special event, you can contact him at 625-0064. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
When we return, GOB tightens animal inspections and border security to combat screwworm.
At Belize Signs, we turn your ideas into reality. Whether it's billboards that command attention, banners that set the stage, or car decals that make a statement, we've got you covered. From lighted signs that shine in the darkest nights to magnetic signs that are easily interchangeable, we offer a wide range of options like billboards, banners, vehicle decals, lighted signs, magnetic signs, acrylic signs, metal signs, PVC signs, aluminum signs, vehicle wraps, vinyl prints, 3D lettering, awnings, wall murals, and a whole lot more. We're not just sign makers, we're brand enablers. Visit us today.
"2024, a year of triumphs, challenges, and unforgettable moments. Join us as we take you on a journey through the stories that shaped Belize. From challenges and tragedy to heartwarming human stories, this year had it all. Don't miss our special end-of-year review, where we bring you the best of 2024. Relive the moments that made us cheer, the stories that changed our lives, and the acts of kindness that restored our faith in humanity. Join us for an unforgettable evening as we celebrate the highs, reflect on the lows, and look forward to a brighter future. Tune in to News 5 for our 2024 year in review. See you on New Year's Eve.
And I'm Ishmael.
Welcome to our home,
the culture capital of Belize,
Dangriga. Our town is known for the rich culture and heritage of the Garinagu who settled here, making it their home since the 1800s. The Garinagu are an ethnic group with mixed ancestry of African, Arawak, and Carib. On May 18, 2001, The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, proclaimed the Garifuna language, music, and dance a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. My town depends heavily on the sea for our livelihood, culture, and food.
All the world leaders are talking about climate change, but for many Belizean children like us, we don't get to talk about it, we live it.
Exhibit A. I'm standing in the Grace Ramirez Memorial Park.
Because of coastline erosion, children from the nearby school are losing this space to play and enjoy school breaks.
It's not only our town. Other children in Belize experience it too. If you took a drive going farther down south, Monkey River is a community in the Toledo district that has also been losing its beaches for decades. In our western and northern districts, each year hurricanes like Eta and Iota cause flooding that displace many children from their homes and communities. UNICEF and other humanitarian organizations support affected families as they learn to adjust to the changes in our weather and environment. A recent UNICEF report, the Children's Climate Risk Index, presents clear evidence showing that over 99% of children are already exposed to at least one climate or environmental shock, with approximately 1 billion children at an extremely high risk from the impacts of climate change.
This is why climate change is actually a child rights crisis. Not only does it affect children, but children and young people can also be a part of climate action.
Whether you earn it, spend it, or transfer it, B-Bucks makes it fast, easy, and convenient. B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
The streetlight implementation plan is to replace the high-pressured sodium lights, better known as HPS lights. These HPS lights will be replaced by the LED lights. Therefore, LED streetlights advanced optics can fine-tune the distribution of lights, ensuring better coverage of the roads, roundabouts, parks, businesses, public area, homes, etc. The feedback have been great. We get positive feedback from the community when it comes to the improved brightness and light quality which LED provides by means of visibility and safety, especially at night.
Before the LED lights was installed, it was kind of dark, you know. Most of the time we did have to look and check. But with the LED lights now, you can see from far.
I like it because it's a nice bright light, because the customer feel much safer to come to the shop.
From the LED lights now that BL had put, it improved a lot. Well, the difference is that they look way far clear.
Well, I must say thanks again to BL on this one, because actually that was a nice improvement. Also, it bring up the mahogany, because the mahogany is one of the active street in a Belize city, and also I live back at Gongolong, and when I come off work, it's just a bloom. Nice for me now. When I go home at night, I can see clearly.
The main objective this year is basically to change out 16,000 HPS lights. So the street light replacement will occur at every respective zone. For example, Central, Belize District, North, Orinjoa, Corozal, West, Cayo District, South, Tancreek District, and Toledo District. We have started some years back with the street light replacement project, and the 16,000 will account for the 100% that we need to complete on the distribution system.
Bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
In this season of joy, celebration, and spreading love, let us make sure that we keep the spirit alive by making responsible choices. Plan ahead and designate a sober driver before the celebrations.
Here are some tips to ensure a safe and joyful holiday season.
If you've been drinking, don't drive. Encourage friends and family to make responsible choices. Look out for each other. Report suspected drunk drivers to your nearest law enforcement immediately.
This holiday season, let's make memories that last a lifetime. Let's ensure that everyone arrives home safely.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Sea cucumbers, the unassuming custodians of marine ecosystems, are facing increasing threats from the mounting impacts of climate change. These bottom-dwelling creatures, essential for maintaining ocean health, are particularly vulnerable to the warming waters, ocean acidification, and habitat destruction resulting from climate shifts. Belize recently reopened its sea cucumber industry, and in the following story, Hippolyta Novella looks at the impacts of climate change on an already vulnerable industry.
Sea cucumbers play a critical role in marine environments. Often referred to as the vacuum cleaners of the ocean floor, they consume detritus, breaking down organic matter and recycling nutrients. This process enhances sediment health, facilitates carbon cycling, and maintains the overall balance of coral reef and seagrass ecosystems. Assistant professor at the University of Belize, Dr. Arlene Rogers, has been researching sea cucumbers for many years. She's the resident expert.
Sea cucumbers are very important in the marine environment because they are detritus feeders, meaning they feed from the seafloor. And while they feed in the seafloor, they eat decomposed material from the seafloor. So in a way, they're cleaning the seafloor. And while they are feeding, they are eating sediment from the seafloor. And when they excrete that, it is sand. So they oxygenate the seafloor as well. So that is the benefit they provide in the environment. They also host many symbionts on their bodies. So they are like a microhabitat for many marine organisms like polychid worms, gastropods, bivalves, algae, and many microorganisms.
The Belize sea cucumber fishery reopened on September 1st and is set to close in January 2025. This reopening follows a year-long closure in 2022, during which a stock assessment was conducted by the Belize Fisheries Department and the University of Belize. Completed in March 2023, the assessment evaluated population in 5 critical areas, including Placencia Lagoon. The survey identified more than 240,000 pounds of sea cucumber. To safeguard the species and promote sustainability, the annual harvest quota was capped at 175,000 pounds for 4 approved exporters.
Compared to, I think the last fishery was probably in 2018, I think. And then we had a closure because of the densities, the population going down. But there have been recovery of the stocks, and there was a joint stock assessment conducted by the University of Belize and the Fisheries Department. And those studies are recommending a total quota of around 175,000 pounds. That is the basis of opening the sea cucumber fishery. We'll monitor the quota. It opens the 1st of September. And once that quota is realized, we will close the fishery. The processing of sea cucumber does not take a lot of processing, mostly cooking and drying. So we're doing some inspections this week and see if they are prepared, and it might not be that the 4 will be prepared. They also have to get certification from Baja.
And sea cucumbers are highly sought after in global markets, particularly in Asia, for their culinary and medicinal value. Now, this demand supports the livelihoods of coastal communities, including those in Belize. The industry represents a significant economic opportunity described as a multi-million-dollar business and very lucrative. But these creatures are not as abundant as before. In the Placencia Lagoon, where Dr. Rogers was accompanied by Dr. Satchel Clear of the University of Washington, finding them proved to be a task.
And sea cucumber represent a really important fishery species here in Belize as one of our exports overseas to China and Japan and other Asian markets. Sea cucumbers are a huge export. They're an unusual animal. We don't find them on the Belizean plate very much. But because they make so much money as an export value, they represent a very important resource in the Caribbean at large, not just Belize.
But sea cucumbers are not immune to climate change. Rising ocean temperatures disrupt their metabolic processes. This leads to reduced reproductive success and higher mortality rates, especially in tropical regions where prolonged heat waves can decimate populations and destabilize ecosystems. Ocean acidification, driven by the increase of atmospheric carbon dioxide intake, impairs their ability to produce calcium carbonate structures, critical to their survival, while also reducing the availability of detrital matter, their primary food source. Habitat destruction from coral bleaching and seagrass bed degradation exacerbates these challenges and exposes sea cucumbers to predators and limits breeding grounds.
Climate change, because sea cucumbers, they tend to reproduce. They're very active during the dry months. And if the temperature are extreme in the dry months, then, we can see monthly how the temperature changes and how temperature can potentially affect their reproduction in both the rainy and the dry season. Because when they reproduce in the dry season, they tend to recover and reproduce again the following year. But if the temperature is increasing tremendously, both in the rainy and in the dry season and the cool months in December, we don't know, then we can make projections. We can look at how temperature extremes can affect their reproduction.
So to address the impacts of climate change on sea cucumbers, immediate and collaborative efforts are essential. Enhanced conservation measures such as the establishment and enforcement of our marine protected areas are critical to safeguarding their habitats. Sustainable harvesting practices must also be implemented with strict regulation and monitoring system to prevent overfishing, which the Fisheries Department is doing. Investing in research to understand species-specific vulnerabilities can inform effective climate adaptation strategies. Sea cucumbers may seem small and inconspicuous, but their role in maintaining ocean health is profound. Their survival is intrinsically tied to the larger fight against climate change. Reporting for News 5, Ippolito Novello.
On Monday, the Ministry of Agriculture announced the first case of screwworm in southern Belize. The infestation was limited to one animal, which has since been treated. While the New World screwworm is treatable if caught early, it can have deadly consequences for both animals and humans. Since July 2023, the ministry has been proactive in preventing the spread of screwworm in Belize. Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo May, elaborates on the measures taken to protect livestock and ensure the safety of Belizeans nationwide.
We have been working hard to prevent the introduction of screwworm into Belize. Belize is the last of all the Central American countries to be reporting on a suspect case. We activated our national plan in October and aggressively engaged with stakeholder groups to strengthen our position. As part, 425 establishments, farms, and homes were visited, and more than 235 technical personnel have been trained in New World screwworm prevention and control. Brochures were designed and printed in English, Spanish, Lower German, Quechua, Mopan, and Yucatec Maya and Garifuna, and these have been widely distributed. Technical teams made appearances on morning shows, and this was supported by social media posts, billboards, and home visits. All this contributed to thousands of Belizeans becoming aware of and informed of the New World screwworm. As a country and as a part of the prevention plan, we also increased inspections of pets being imported from New World screwworm-infested countries at all official points of entry. These are on land, sea, and air. Animal movement control points were installed at Bodetri, Cayo District, and Halacte, Toledo District. These are manned by Baja officers, the police, and a BLP officer, and are operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These movement controls were strengthened to ensure no animals enter Belize at these unofficial crossing points, and that all cargo vehicles entering Belize through these points are sprayed with an insecticide that is also a larvicide.
Up next, PM says 2024 brought many victories for Belizeans.
In today's digital age, technology connects us like never before. But it can also open doors to hidden dangers. Predators use social media, gaming platforms, and messaging apps to target vulnerable individuals, especially children. In today's digital world, technology can be a gateway for human traffickers, but we are not powerless. Here are crucial tips to protect yourself and loved ones. Set strict privacy settings on all social media accounts. Only accept friend requests from people you know personally. Turn off location sharing. Never overshare online. Avoid posting personal information like phone numbers or addresses. Be wary of job ads that seem too good to be true. Traffickers often use these to lure victims. Report suspicious activity. Don't hesitate to block and report harassing accounts. Familiarize yourself with your national human trafficking hotline for emergencies. Know the warning signs of trafficking. Education is key to prevention. Remember, if something feels off when you're online, trust your instincts and seek help immediately.
"2024, a year of triumphs, challenges, and unforgettable moments. Join us as we take you on a journey through the stories that shaped Belize. From challenges and tragedy to heartwarming human stories, this year had it all. Don't miss our special end-of-year review, where we bring you the best of 2024. Relive the moments that made us cheer, the stories that changed our lives, and the acts of kindness that restored our faith in humanity. Join us for an unforgettable evening as we celebrate the highs, reflect on the lows, and look forward to a brighter future. Tune in to News 5 for our 2024 year in review. See you on New Year's Eve.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSB, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
The streetlight implementation plan is to replace the high-pressured sodium lights, better known as HPS lights. These HPS lights will be replaced by the LED lights. Therefore, LED streetlights advanced optics can fine-tune the distribution of lights, ensuring better coverage of the roads, roundabouts, parks, businesses, public area, homes, etc. The feedback have been great. We get positive feedback from the community when it comes to the improved brightness and light quality which LED provides by means of visibility and safety, especially at night.
Before the LED lights was installed, it was kind of dark, you know. Most of the time we did have to look and check. But with the LED lights now, you can see from far.
I like it because it's a nice bright light, because the customer feel much safer to come to the shop.
From the LED lights now that BL had put, it improved a lot. Well, the difference is that they look way far clearer.
Well, I must say thanks again to BL on this one, because actually that was a nice improvement also. It bring up the mahogany, because the mahogany is one of the active street in Belize City, and also I live back at Gongolong, and when I come off work, it's just a bloom. Nice for me now. When I go home at night, I can see clearly.
The main objective this year is basically to change out 16,000 HPS lights. So the street light replacement will occur at every respective zone. For example, Central, Belize District, North, Orange Walk, Corozal, West, Cayo District, South, Tancric District, and Toledo District. We have started some years back with the street light replacement project, and the 16,000 will account for the 100% that we need to complete on the distribution system.
Bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
In Belize, diversity is our strength. From the vibrant streets of Corozal to the serene beauty of Punta Gorda, and from the charming town of Benque to the breathtaking views of Half Moon Key. We are a tapestry of cultures, traditions, and perspectives. But amidst our differences, there's one thing that unites us all, that defines the essence of Belizean identity. Our love for this land and sea we call home. Our Belize Barrier Reef is more than just a natural wonder. It's the lifeblood of our nation, the foundation of our culture, and the backbone of our economy. Every lobster caught, every conch harvested, every tourist enchanted, every investor satisfied, every proud homeowner, and every taxpayer. They all depend on the health and vitality of our marine environment.
I may be out on the water every day, but I know that my livelihood is tied to the health of the reef. We all depend on it.
As a tour guide, I get to share the beauty of a reef with visitors from around the world. What I want, future generations of Belizeans to experience it too.
Fresh seafood is the heart of Belizean cuisine. I want to continue creating delicious dishes that celebrate our local flavors, sustainably sourced from our waters.
In Belize, we may come from different backgrounds, but we all share the same dream. A thriving marine environment capable of sustaining us all. Together, let's work toward that future. A future where we all thrive.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
The year 2024 was a mixed bag, with personal triumphs for some and hardships for others. In his New Year's address, Prime Minister John Briceño highlighted that overall, the past year brought numerous victories for Belizeans, both big and small. He celebrated the high employment rate, the availability of well-paying jobs, the removal of GST from property transfers and mortgages, the increased income tax threshold starting January 1st, 2025, and the elimination of fees at public clinics. These changes, he noted, are steps towards a brighter future for all.
Belizeans are winning when the vast majority who seek employment can find high-paying jobs. National data shows that 98 out of every 100 who seek work can now find well-paying jobs. Belizeans won when government recently raised the brackets of those who pay zero income taxes and removed the GST for property transfers and mortgages. Belizeans are winning when all fees and costs at every public health clinic in the country have now been eliminated. And Belizean entrepreneurs have won special status with the targeted duty and tax exemptions that automatically apply to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Some wins take more time to secure. For example, inflation. Government heard the complaints about the cost of living, and government has acted forcefully against price gougers and acted decisively to provide relief. Our commitment to lowering the cost of living is why our bakers and public transport operators and farmers have all received some level of subsidy and relief. And in spectacular fashion, Belizeans capped the year with our first ever tax holiday. The sum of our efforts is the reason why the latest estimate shows price inflation contained to only 2.1%. 2024 has truly been a year of Belizean triumph.
As Prime Minister Briceño reflected on his administration's achievements, he assured Belizeans that they will continue to push forward. He promised more improvements in infrastructure, increased distribution of land documents, and more accessible health care. Looking ahead to the election year, the Prime Minister expressed his confidence that with the ongoing implementation of their Plan Belize manifesto, the best version of Belize lies ahead.
This government's push to place valuable titled land in the hands of first-time landowners will not relent. 2025 will witness the construction start of the new state-of-the-art tertiary care hospital in Bamapan that will elevate public health care to new levels of excellence. And the new year will bring the final phase in the realization of a truly national health insurance program so that every Belizean, including residents of the Cayo district, benefit from free public health care. Our push for a greater quality and more accessible education programs will intensify in 2025, as will our already aggressive program of infrastructure improvements, including streets, roads, drains and bridges, particularly in our villages and towns. Altogether, Belize is better positioned than ever before to soar to enriching heights. Government in this new year will continue to champion higher individual and institutional standards, conscious that as public servants, we must lead by example. We also know that 2025 brings with it the promise of elections, a time when we must first give an account of our performance over the past 4 years and offer our vision for building on Plan Belize. We remain confident that the best version of Belize lies ahead of us, and with the guidance of our Creator, we will move forward.
With 2025 just around the corner, celebrations are already in full swing. For many, this is a time to reflect on the highs and lows of the past year. Whether 2024 brought joy or challenges, the new year offers a fresh start and new resolutions. Today, we hit the streets of downtown Belize City to find out what Belizeans are aiming for as the countdown to 2025 begins. We also gave them a chance to shout out the loved ones they're excited to celebrate with.
2025 is just a few hours away, and many Belizeans have already written their list of goals to take into the new year. Speaking to a few Belizeans on the streets of Belize City, 2025 will be filled with positivity and good memories with family and friends. What's your New Year's resolution?
Oh, have a perfect life, have a perfect relationship, do the positive things, never think negative.
My New Year's resolution, I get my family together, get my house and pray to the Father most of all and big up my mom, my mother-in-law, my daughter, my wife, all my friends and family abroad. And I want to tell Belize I could live back with one another because they come to the family.
First, God, I believe the new year will bring a lot of progress in my life, and I believe that God is good.
A few Belizeans are hoping to level up their lifestyles in 2025.
I would say living a healthier lifestyle.
What's one change that you're hoping to see in the new year?
Coming, I would want to go to the gym and get a little slimmer, I guess.
My New Year's resolution is to be a better person.
Okay, so who are you celebrating New Year's with?
Friends and family, of course.
My New Year's resolution is to make more money. So I'd like to shout out my mom. She's 89 years old, going strong.
How are you planning on celebrating the new year?
Basically, I stay home and, and watch all the fireworks around my neighborhood.
A few were hopeful that the new year would ease the financial burdens they faced in 2024.
Just pray that things get better and life get easier because our living go down.
If God spare life next year, if we have belief in God, everybody have trust in God, we might survive. With this Christ living, we can't be hard, we survive again.
One word, no, I need a good job, no.
I hope the country get better. And so far, so good. We have a lot of vegetables. Thank God for that.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, we wish you a happy new year. And we take this opportunity to remind our viewers that the annual Year in Review premieres at 8 p.m. See you next year. Good night.